Hi guys, thought you might like to pour some soap with me today. So I've got my folded leaves that I'm going to do. These are beautiful. I haven't done them yet this year. And I'm trying two new colors. Terry's Vermilion, which is beautiful. I've not worked with this color at all, and I'm really thinking it's going to give a very nice effect to the leaves. And then I have Eternal Hope. Now the Eternal Hope actually has some black tones to it, so I would only use this in my clear bases. I wouldn't use the Eternal Hope in a white base because it tends to turn kind of gray, I think. But anyhow, we'll see how these go. I hope they're going to be a nice combination. This is my clear base mixed with Eternal Hope. And then this is my clear base mixed with Vermilion. And for these, I've used a straight cranberry fragrance that I have. I know Terry has some cranberry chutney, which I've used in the past, and it's really awesome. So I like my temps to be pretty low for pouring these. I don't want my colors to blend much. So I'm using my digital thermometer, and I want to get them around 120. I'm now about 128. I think that's still just a little bit too warm. So I have just a couple minutes. I use 99% alcohol, or I'm sorry, 91% alcohol. You can use higher. I don't like lower. I think that it deposits too much water in the soap. So I'm going to spray. Let me show you how I do this. As I'm waiting, I'm spritzing the sides of my container, and then I stir that in, and that prevents any kind of skim from forming on the top. And I'm also keeping it covered with just a piece of plastic wrap, again, just to prevent the skin from forming on the top while I'm waiting for my soap to get to the correct temperature that I'm looking for. So let me temp these again. I know I'm very close. My color's not showing up great. I have to use some artificial light in here because the sun's kind of off to my side. I think I'm still just a tiny bit warm, but I'm very close. This Vermilion is amazing. Let me see. I'm gonna move the camera a little bit and see if I can show you. I'm not sure. But anyhow, that's the Vermilion, or I'm sorry, that's the Eternal Hope. Get my colors backwards. And this is the Vermilion, both of which are they're just gorgeous. So I'll get this put back up here so you can see what I'm doing, I hope. Oh, now I messed up my angle. But anyhow, I think you've got a good enough view. So I'll cover them back up while I'm still waiting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my alcohol and I'm going to spray it on the inside of my mold. I'm going to swish it around. I'm going to tap it on the counter to get off any excess. The alcohol just deposits everything into the mold really nicely so that all my little details are picked up, and there's no... sometimes I've found that if I haven't done this, then the soap hasn't gotten down into the tiny little cracks and crevices, and I've kind of missed some of the detail, and I want to pick up all my detail. These are just beautiful. I think Terry has the casting. She probably could make molds for you guys if you want them. I got these from her last year, I believe, and I've sold a ton of them. I can't even tell you how many. They're always very well received. People really like them. The colors, oh, perfect. I'm getting like really, really close. So I'm going to start pouring. These colors are very contrasting. You can also use similar colors, which give a beautiful effect as well. So, for some reason, the green, and you'll find that the different micas, they kind of cool at different times. I don't know why. But the green seems just a tad bit warmer. Yeah, the Vermilion is ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'll try not to say any curse words because I usually have a little bit of a challenge getting these to go exactly like I want. And here we go. So I pour at, I hope you can see, I'm pouring at two different corners of the mold, and I kind of just alternate the pours a little bit, and I don't usually need any more alcohol. Hopefully I'm not pouring too hot, but it looks like that's going to be beautiful. So I don't want these to blend, so I'm hoping it's not too hot. If by some chance they're too hot, they'll just be darker than I want, but I think you really can't mess up fall leaves because they come in every color and they end up beautiful anyhow. Got a little bit on the edge. I'll just take a knife and kind of swoop that off, and then I'm gonna spritz a tiny bit of alcohol and move on to my next ones. When you're doing this, and if you start to form a skin, I just give a little spritz on the top of my base. You can stop and stir it if you want, but you don't want to take too much time or you're going to end up messing up and you'll get too hot. And I never reheat my soap. I hear lots of people reheat their soap and reuse it. I do not do that. It changes the property of the soap. If I've messed up soap, I'll use it as embeds if I need to, but for the most part, I don't reheat. I use SFIC bases. They're very good quality. I started out with Michaels, and I couldn't do anything with it. I thought, how can people make all these gorgeous soaps? The base just did not work for me, but I know lots of people have good luck with it, so it's kind of whatever works best for you. And as I'm moving, I hope I haven't lost you there, that you can still see, but these are just beautiful. It looks like the color is going to really have a nice separation. My dehumidifier just cut off. It's so loud. So now I feel like I was screaming. And the last one, oh, these are gorgeous. Wait till you see them. Now when I unmold these, I might give them a little dusting of gold. It's really not necessary. I just think the whole world needs a dusting of gold, so I tend to use it an awful lot. My very favorite is Terry's Goldfinger. Now I've ended up a little bit extra soap, so I'm going to go back and I'll just put it kind of in the corner, and I'm going to pick the corner where I think my green was deposited, but just wait till you see these. I'm really hopeful that they're going to be gorgeous. Wow, I'm loving how the colors mixed a little bit, but yet still have nice definition. And I'm going to have a little extra soap. So I haven't made these in a while, but I did have my measurements written down, and I think I just over melted a little bit. And also, I mix all of my micas before I add them to my base. I mix my micas with the 91% alcohol, so sometimes, depending on how much alcohol I need, that adds a little volume. So I always keep just some kind of tiny little soap mold, and I keep pouring my leftovers into a little mold until I have it full, and then I have a little soap for in my shower. Or the grandchildren love my soap, so they get a little soap too. I just happen to have this little owl here, so I'll pour the rest of my vermilion that I have left over into the little owl, and that will be the beginning layer of a new soap. And like I said, I can give those to the granddaughters. They love them. My one little granddaughter will stash them all over the house, and then she goes and they're like little treasures. She goes and she'll find them and she smells them immediately. The first thing she does is stick them to her nose. It's just the cutest thing. She's 3 years old. Okay, well, I think that's it. Let me see if I'm going to take my phone off of this and see if you can see that absolutely amazing color that I've just poured in these soaps. Hopefully that shows up. And there's the little owl with the vermilion. Okay guys, I think that's it, and I'll show you a picture of these when they're unmolded. I think they're going to be amazing. Hope you enjoyed the video.